Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of the Readiness Report. I'm Sergeant Bethany Huff.
And I'm Sergeant Rodney Roldan. This past month, the 78th Army Band flooded the community with music. Sergeant First Class Nicholas Greason explains how these events are important to the unit as well as the Army Reserve.
Military bands are important for the military in a number of ways. One, we help maintain the traditions that are so steeped in the military, especially in terms of our ceremonial missions, providing that little bit of extra, really helping be that public face of the Army and the armed forces to the community. As soldiers, we understand what our brothers and sisters are going through. We have the training, we've read the stories, we know what it's about for the continuous deployments and the challenges that places on the families and on the soldiers and what those lives are like. And we, as military musicians and in our bands, we really try to make that connection with the public so that they understand what the military is doing and how we represent them in the United States.
That performance was one of a kind. Speaking of our brothers and sisters in arms, the 53rd Military History Detachment recently completed a number of field tasks in preparation for their upcoming deployment.
So the last few days doing this pre-mobilization training, we've been going over land navigation, rollover training, and how to perform first aid in a tactical environment. The first day we had to do we went over a PowerPoint refresher course on land navigation, so that was really helpful because the next day we had to do an actual validation test where we had to go outside and use all the refresher skills that we learned in the PowerPoint and actually execute that in a real life scenario where we went in the woods and we had to coordinate all the grid magnetic coordinates in order to find our points in the woods. We also had to react to contact. That's something we had to do out in the woods. That was also a refresher skill for myself as a soldier. All these tasks are really essential for the upcoming mobilization because once I mobilize, I'll have those skills again. It's a refresher. I feel like it's really essential for a United States Army Reserve soldier to do this annually. The reason being is that these soldier skills, we don't use them often, that when we have to execute a validation or exercise, you need those skills in order to execute that mission.
Mission readiness has been such a big topic lately. As we serve our nation, we sometimes forget that the Soldier Support Branch is here for soldiers and veterans. Branch Chief of the Soldier Support Branch, Noemi De La Cruz, tells us how rewarding her job is.
So the last few days doing this pre-mobilization training, we've been going over land navigation, rollover training, and how to perform first aid in a tactical environment. The first day we had to do we went over a PowerPoint refresher course on land navigation, so that was really helpful because the next day we had to do an actual validation test where we had to go outside and use all the refresher skills that we learned in the PowerPoint and actually execute that in a real life scenario where we also had to react to contact. That's something we had to do out in the woods. That was also a refresher skill for myself as a soldier. All these tasks are really essential for the upcoming mobilization because once I mobilize, I'll have those skills again. I feel like it's really essential for a United States Army Reserve soldier to do this annually. When we have to execute a validation or exercise, you need those skills in order to execute that mission.
All right, let's get ready for this convoy. My name is Sergeant Acosta with the U.S. Army Reserve. Ready? 1, 2. The day I told my mom that I was going to join the U.S. Army Reserve, she said, absolutely not. My mom did a 180, I guess, when she started seeing the results. Once I came back from training, she saw that I was very disciplined. I was more proactive. She loves everything that it has done for me and my family.
The opportunities that you've been given, the training.
I knew nothing about computers.
Right.
Until I joined the U.S. Army Reserve.
IT, are you sure?
Like I told you, I was like, I'm gonna go to college and I'm not gonna have any debt, unlike you. I went to college and I got a bachelor's in computer information systems. That degree, along with my Army background, allowed me to actually get the civilian job that I really, really wanted. I'm a systems engineer for a company. I work regular 8 hours, and then I have 1 weekend a month. You know, I'm a soldier. My regular life is my family. I'm home and I'm living a normal life. And then I put on a uniform and it's family again. My role as a team lead for my soldiers is to educate them. You see people's potential and you kind of push them. I've become a leader being in the U.S. Army Reserve. My determination has grown and grown.
We did, in fact, nominate her as one of our top soldiers. I felt confident that the civilian side could absolutely benefit from training on the military side.
I've had support from my commander, my recruiter, my fellow battle buddies. The best backup support that I can have to actually achieving my dream job. They're very supportive of my family. I'm a mom, I'm a soldier, a daughter, a sister, a friend.
Her accomplishments just rubs off for me, so it pushes me to push myself forward. Children have superheroes, and I think she's my hero, you know?
The U.S. Army Reserve offers a lot. Health coverage, you know, you get loan repayment. Was able to get my degree and not have any debt. When I look at it overall, I realize that they gave me a lot more than that.
The skills and lessons learned in the Army are valuable in all areas of life. U.S. Army Reserve Command Sergeant First Class Stephen Engel explains how these skills have translated into his civilian life.
So driving and PMCSing military vehicles goes hand in hand with civilian vehicles. The platforms are basically the same. Your standard Humvee is actually a GM vehicle. They were purchased years ago, now owned by GM. So a lot of your drivetrain, your parts, and your components are all General Motors. So I've always taken preventive maintenance seriously, from a child to my military career to my civilian job. As a TPU soldier, we have full-time jobs, and one of them that I did for a short period of time, and I still hold today, was a commercial driver. You spend a lot of money and a lot of time in school to obtain that commercial driver's license, and your safety on the road goes hand in hand with that license. PMCS in a military vehicle and the training that you get there goes hand in hand with everything that you're going to do before a road trip in your civilian vehicle. You have to do that 360 walk around. You have to check your tire pressures, your oil, your coolant, all those vital fluids into that vehicle to make sure it's going to last your trip.
The 603rd Military Police Company kicks off gunnery. Sergeant Terrence Keynes says his mission is to ensure soldiers are capable despite what the weather has in store for them.
We're going to radio blackout status. Follow your commander.
We're going to zero and then qualify these guys as quick as we can before the rain comes in. There's a lot that goes on up in the tower. It's just a lot of communication goes on in planning and just executing. Just trying to get what's needed to be done figured out and then pushed out. Being able to look out there and view everybody engaging kind of puts you in a perspective on what everybody's individual capabilities are. So you may be able to work with someone that has less experience or not comfortable as in such weaponry and put them next to someone who's more comfortable to keep an eye on and mentor them. That way you're basically an all-around proficient team, squad, platoon.
Chaplains provide support to soldiers and family members to keep the fight strong. First Lieutenant Antigone Lowry tells us the impact this has on the soldier.
I'm the chaplain candidate for 256, and my role is to assist with unit ministry functions for the unit as they go through the C6 exercise. For me, I think religious support, religious commendation is one of the foundations in ensuring that soldiers are supported in every way in terms of caring for their morale and their spirits, the things that keep them going. I think chaplains have a unique role in ensuring that soldiers are taken care of outside of the things that they do for a unit. The most challenging thing, of course, is the UMT doesn't do what everyone else does, and as much as we want to be active and present, sometimes people think the UMT gets in the way, and so for us we have to be creative with how we contribute to the unit's mission, and more often than not that's doing things after hours or before, being present in spaces where people are relaxing just to let them know that we are available to them. And of course, if a soldier is in crisis or feels down, that we are available to listen, to encourage, and to walk alongside them as they continue to do their job as best as they can.
This U.S. Army Reserve application allows you to stay connected, informed, engaged, and on top of your agenda. With it, you can follow the news and share your favorite articles with other members. It's now much easier to join conversations and be part of a wide range of communities. You can also create your own group and add members. Locate nearby members on the map and find support services close to you. Check into locations to receive relevant information, training schedules, and also mark yourself as safe in emergency situations. Easily keep track of your fitness levels with our Army Physical Fitness Test. Challenge yourself and compete against other members in multi-discipline sports. Explore extensive resources at your fingertips. The new U.S. Army Reserve Double Eagle app. Download it today.
Reservists have a pretty strong mission when it comes to balancing their civilian life and being a soldier. The Soldier Improvement Readiness Program ensures that soldiers are prepared for mobilization.
For the Army Reserve, we are the only unit that does our own SRP events. With my section, I'm the medical, so we give immunizations, your vision screenings, your physical health assessments, as well as hearing and dental. You can also do personnel, which takes care of your human resources, all your records. We do finance, which takes care of the soldiers' money problems, or just making sure that they're getting paid correctly before they go overseas. It's important to have these types of events because it prepares a soldier to make sure that they have the numbers that they need in order to be deployed and that they complete their mission.
After 2 years commanding the Fort Devens garrison, Army Colonel Ephraim Z. Slaughter passes on command to Lieutenant Colonel Lindsay E. Halter.
Post the colors!
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Lindsay Halter. I am the new commander of the Devens Reserve Forces Training Area in Devens, Massachusetts. So today was the change of command between Colonel Slaughter and myself. Colonel Slaughter is the outgoing commander. I'm the new commander for Fort Devens. It's a big day. Obviously there's a lot of emotion. I was very proud to be out there and having been selected for command. My family was here, so it was neat that they got to be a part of this and get to see the actual ceremony. Obviously this ceremony has a long history, so it was neat to be a part of that. Well, I'm really looking forward to getting out, reaching out, and being more involved with the community and continuing to make Devens a great place to be. Anyone that's going to be part of the team here, that they need to be able to work hard and get the job done, but they need to be a part of the team, and I think it's going to be a great experience for everyone. This really is a tremendous honor. It's a lot of responsibility. I fully recognize that, but like I said, I'm really looking forward to the challenges ahead.
Strengthening bonds and resiliency in marriage allows soldiers to focus on their tasks. The Strong Bonds programs ensures the mental well-being of soldiers and their families.
Strong Bonds focus for this particular event, it's a married soldier event, so the focus on this is basically building stronger and more resilient marriages. So we give the couple basically tools and tips for how to build their marriages and make them stronger. No matter if they're already strong, they can still be stronger. It's a joint event with the logistical and financial support of the 99th, but then the command is responsible, 353 in my case, is responsible for filling the seats, for bringing the soldiers in, and for the training piece. The generals and the sergeant majors talk about, we're an Army family, and part of that family is your family support network at home. If you don't have a strong support network at home, then as a soldier, you're going to be weak. You're going to bring that brokenness from home to the Army, and we don't want that. A strong head and a strong heart makes for a strong soldier.
Today's Army Reserve covers more than 20 time zones across 5 continents. We are a battle-tested force facing a future with sophisticated adversaries. We must shift our focus and continue to adapt. We must be physically fit, mentally tough, and determined to defeat the enemy and dominate our foes. America's Army Reserve, the most capable, combat-ready, lethal, Federal Reserve Force in the history.
This summer, Army Reserve soldiers strengthened their skills through annual training. Specialist Noel Williams from the 356 Broadcast Operations Detachment covered a field exercise during Guardian Response 19.
Today, my platoon, which is the Reconnaissance and Surveillance Platoon for the company, is conducting operations in the hot zone to extract casualties of a simulated disaster. I sincerely hope that my soldiers understand how important they are to America right now. If there's any kind of chemical or biological or radiological disaster, they're training to be the people that go in and help when no one else can. I hope that they understand how important that is for Americans, for the Army, that there are people who can go into these absolutely astronomically disastrous situations and actually bring them out and solve the problem. For the domestic response mission that we're currently training, it's extremely important that especially the U.S. Army, with all of the resources, is able to come and support local authorities. This mission enables Americans to help Americans when they need it.
U.S. Army Reserve soldiers compete in the 2019 Joint Culinary Training Exercise. Staff Sergeant Nicholas J. De La Pena from the 214th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment covered the story.
The citizen soldiers, they work on the civilian sector as chefs, and also they cook for their units on drill weekends. So they're improving the visual aspect of their food service operation back in garrison.
Today I earned a ACF gold medal for category KP2 composed cold dessert, and then yesterday I earned a silver medal for the Armed Forces Pastry Chef of the Year.
You can take these skills and go to the field. You can increase the palatability of that product by using the knowledge and skills that you gain off of events like this. I'm looking for new chefs all the time to be a part of this program, and we really need to get more culinarians so that they can learn this knowledge and passion and share it with their units.
That's it for this edition of the Readiness Report. I'm Sergeant Rodney Roldan.
And I'm Sergeant Bethany Huff. Make sure to check us out on our Divots page at divothubs.net/unit/99RD.